Hey everyone, thanks for tuning back into MattSteinwede.com. Here I am with a very sought after man at the moment, Tom Hector. Hey mate.
How you going?
I'm very good. There's been probably a lot of girls, mate, wanting this video, so chasing you. No, a lot of people have asked could I interview you, and I'm glad you spared me the time. Thanks. You there?
Thank you, man. It's great to be on the show. Watching you since ever it started, so I can't believe it. But anyway,
very good. Well, you do good things out there. Lots of people want to hear from you. So let's get into this. How old are you?
21. Just turned 21 on the February the 3rd of this month. So just 21.
Does that make you an Aries? No.
Yeah, that's correct.
Yes. Yeah. There you go. 21. How long have you been in sales for yourself?
Started selling actively when I was 19 years of age. So this is my third year selling. Yeah. I started at 18 years of age at Toop and Toop, which is obviously a competitor now.
Yeah.
A cadet there. It's just an 18-year-old cadet. And I just came straight out from school because I won an auctioneering competition whilst at school.
Yeah.
And I met Phil Harris, obviously my boss at the time, and I got offered the opportunity to come work for Harris Real Estate back in day one. So we started with 5 people.
Yeah.
Now we're 60 people. So it's been fantastic.
Sensational. So age is a factor with a lot of young agents in their mind. How have you overcome that?
Yeah, that's a great question, Matt. I think in the first 12 to 18 months, it was very, very tough going. I was 19 and I was working as a buyer's agent for Phil, and this is basically when we started Harris Real Estate, and I was out there probably 3, 4, 5 hours a day door knocking, just specific area, just working the area very, very hard, and I was losing listings a lot due to my age, and that's something I found tough at the time. But now I don't find age a factor whatsoever. I don't think wage has come up since probably good 14 to 15 months ago. That's purely all the clients I've got now, I've built the relationship with them and I don't have that problem anymore.
I was going to say, is that a mindset thing from, sorry, I'm just doing my hair a bit sticking up, but is that a mindset thing that you had to get comfortable with, or do you think it's a combination with maybe getting a bit better prepared, being the agent, trying to make yourself the agent of choice because of the energy that you have, and then also combine that with your mindset? What was it?
Yeah, I think to a certain degree it was my mindset as well. You've got to think that you're a professional and you're better than the other agents that have been in the industry for 25 years as well. Because I outright know now that if you select me as your agent, I will work harder than any other agent out there to get the best price. So that really now, it took me a while to get around that, but now I generally feel that I can get everyone a better price if you list with your home with me.
Tell us how your day looks, mate.
Sorry, mate, I just missed you there.
Tell us how your day looks. What's a typical Tom Hector day?
Yeah, jump in the office at 8 o'clock every morning or quarter to 8, no later than 8 o'clock. Basically just scouring through emails between 8 and 8:30. We have a daily meeting with our team every single day, right? And then between 8:30 and probably 9:30, I'm calling all my active vendors, just notifying what's happening throughout the day. And then 9:30 until 12, I'm pretty much hitting my scheduled task up. So I'm a massive believer of complete data, and I've worked my scheduled task ridiculously really well. And basically, I've got a daily accountability sheet that I work towards. So today I've made 65 prospecting calls with 38 connects, and I booked 3 appraisals. All right, so it's been a good day for me. I haven't had any appointments out of the office. Today, Monday's more my follow-up day. But then Tuesday and Wednesday, Thursday and Friday are more my appraisal days. But normally I don't obviously have appointments before 12, and in the afternoon I'm constantly out there, whether it be knocking on doors or cold calling or just other things, or praising property or listing property, negotiating.
Cool. So, mate, I can hear the intensity in your voice. You want it, don't you?
Yep. Every single day of the week I'm out there and I absolutely love what I do.
Very good. Talk us through a door knock for you, mate. Like, what does a door knock sound like? You knock on my door?
Very passive, Matt. So hi, how you going? It's Tom Hector from Harris Real Estate. Just thought you may like to know I've just listed number 65 around on your street. If you know of any friends or family that want to move into the area, please let me know. And that way, look, I'll leave it with them, and if the conversation starts, and I'll talk with them further. Otherwise, I'll basically come back 3 or 4 weeks later with a sold price, and it's just specific door knocking. You're not going to door knock the property once; you have to door knock them over a time frame.
Fantastic. And you're a believer in working your area, are you?
100%. So I've pretty much built my career based upon what you've done in Wamberal.
Yeah.
So I've got about 1,500 homes in the northeast of Adelaide, there's 3,000 properties in there, so it's very, very similar to Wamberal, but I'm only working a certain patch of those properties.
Yeah.
My average sale price is $475,000, and I started at Harris Real Estate.
Stay right there, Tom. It's dropped out a little bit. Stay there, mate.
Yeah, so starting at Harris Real Estate in my service area, obviously not where agents from Ray White and LJ Hooker have been working in the area for like 25 to 30 years.
Yeah.
With black and white brochures and poor marketing, and coming in with high quality marketing similar to McGrath, it was very, very difficult. And I got my first listing at 228 Montacute Road, Ross Trevor, from a door knock.
Yeah.
And then that took about 4 or 5 months. And now all it's starting to happen. So I'm getting calls now generally from people I've been working with for 2 years, just from all the mail outs and things I've got going out in my service area.
Fantastic. Did it ever seem like it just wasn't going to happen?
Yeah, there were definitely times, Matt. Very, very difficult. I was probably in my 7th or 8th month, and I was continuously out there, constantly knocking on the doors, walking the streets, and just nothing was happening. Then all of a sudden I got 1 board up, 2 boards up, 3 boards up. I got my first auction there, sold it at auction, and I did the auction myself at 20 years of age, and then just really now it's just fantastic.
Awesome. So your prospecting today, is that a mixture of cold calls? Is it a mixture of like cold calls, warm calls? Like what is it?
Yeah,
knocking, like you said?
Definitely. My cold calls now are definitely warmer calls.
Mm-hmm.
I telemarketed a street last week in Ross Trevor that a property has just sold, and it was amazing to see how many people recognised me and knew who I was. So it's becoming just similar to you, where you've obviously built that over a 3 or 4 year period. Now, this is my 3rd active year in Ross Trevor, and I remember speaking with you last year, and you categorically told me that in my 3rd year things start to change. It really starts to change. I've listed 5 properties this year already in my service area, and it's going to start to build even further. So I got a direct call from Mr. and Mrs. Smith at 5A Derwin Avenue last week, where they had to ring me because they felt guilty they couldn't sell their home without anyone else. So
go, Tom.
That's funny. And I've also got another couple people, that 41 Raynell Road, Ross Trevor, Audrey Kilmeyer, where she's rang me and I've been keeping in contact with her for 2.5 years. So that's full fee, full marketing, and that's what prospecting's all about.
So good to hear, mate. I love it. Like, age is no barrier. So in your listing presentation, do you have a structured presentation? Is it conversational? Like, talk us through it.
Very, very structured. It's pretty much the Lee Woodward system, but we've built it at Harris Real Estate. You've probably seen the video that Lee presented last year to you, that came out, that Phil did. Mine's very, very similar, and it just works from A to Z. And I just basically put my own relationship or my own feel to it as well. Yeah. But I structures for me is everything. I need structure. I can't really ad-lib, but it's worked really, really well for me.
What's the best prospecting thing you've done in your area?
The CMA, by all means. The CMA, the constant CMA that goes out. Mine's a high quality gloss document, very similar to yours.
Yeah.
And that goes out, and also just the constant blanket marketing. I think that's the one biggest thing that I've got to let everyone know of, that it's got to take time, that you've got to get it out there 2 streets a day, or if it's 4 streets a week, whatever it may be, but just start to happen, and then people start to know who you are.
Cool. Where's your market share at the moment? Is it building? What's the highest market share you've had so far?
I've had about 45% at one stage.
Nice.
And I'm currently at about 15%, but I've got actively boards going up there in the next 2 or 3 weeks,
Fantastic.
Which will build that further. But my average days on market in Ross Trevor at the moment is over 100 days, so it's taking a long while. There's a lot of agents out there that have got no idea, and they're cheap fees, and obviously I've lost pieces of business to them, and they're still on the market 4 months later. So, which is good to follow up again and keep working them. But I'm currently selling property within the 30 to 45 day period, because if you list with me, obviously at the end of the day I'll get you the best price, but I had the real conversations around price early.
Definitely. It's good to hear, and I love the realness of you. Like 45% is where you had it down to 15. That happens, it happens, and then that'll go back up to 30%, 35%, and then one day, 5 years down the track, or another couple of years, you'll be consistently at 30, 40, 50% market share all the time.
Exactly right.
So, very, very good. I was going to ask you about role playing. Do you role play?
Oh, a huge amount, Matt. When I was 18, I worked in Phil's team. I was very, very lucky to do pretty much how could I say, he trained me up completely in regards to my scripts and dialogues. I'm a Lee Woodward absolute fanatic.
Yeah.
I role played on my dictaphone, and I bought a dictaphone when I was 18, and I got my iPhone out, and I still role play today. But role playing is everything in regards to this business. I have sold so many properties and listed so many properties through having the right scripts and having the right dialogue in the right situations.
When you went out into sales, so I assume is it yourself, or do you have an assistant, or?
Yes, I work in a team. So basically how it works is you got Phil, obviously the managing director, who's very, very busy at the moment.
Yeah.
I work alongside Phil still, but I list and sell all my property myself.
Yeah.
So I work in a team. I've got Robin, who pretty much is assistant for Phil and myself, right? Yeah. And basically it's a team of 3, plus we've got just one person coming on board in the last 2 months. That's Khan. He's coming into work, do more of the buyer management side.
Yeah.
So it's pretty much Phil and myself teaming up to sell property together, because Phil's obviously can't manage all his own stock at the moment because he's managing director.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty much listing my own property at the same time as well.
What would you say to agents that are young and are thinking of going into sales but are scared?
All I can say is that you just got to be determined to succeed, and you've got to have the right mindset. You've got to have the right mindset, and you've got to literally work for free for a number of months. You've got to put yourself on the line, and you've got to think long term. Like, the most frustrating for me when I got into real estate was I wanted to become an overnight success, and I wanted to become like yourself, because I listened to your tapes every single day of the week, and I was thinking, why not there yet? What's going on? And I was like, Phil. And then Phil obviously kept telling me, mate, it takes time. So obviously I'm a 21 now. I wrote just under 250,000 last year, right?
Nice.
My goal is to write 450 this year, and I've sold 5 properties this month already, and I'm on track to do that. So I'm having a fantastic start to the year. So I generally feel it is possible, but it does take a lot of hard work and a lot of sacrifices. But at the end of the day, I love what I do.
I'm sure some girls are wanting to know, are you single?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah. Could open up a can of worms there, mate. You might get lots of emails. Last one. Advice for some young agents or some agents. I know you've already said some advice if they're scared going out on their own, but what would be some advice on gaining traction in your area for agents that are stuck even? Like, some agents are probably looking at you and they're 45 and they're going, mate, why is this guy blooming so focused and sold 5 this month? What's some advice around that, mate?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is just having knowing your marketplace inside and out. It's an absolute must. Like, if you ring me in for an appraisal day and you live in Ross Trevor, I guarantee I'll know where you live. Yep. And I've probably knocked on your door 5 times before. So that's one big thing I can say is that advice is you've got to know your marketplace inside and out, and also just you've got to interact with those people, and where they're selling now or in 5 years' time, don't worry about it. Just keep them in contact with you. So I've got appraisals, and in my first 12 months when I was 19 working at Harris Real Estate, I was getting into like 7 appraisals a week in Ross Trevor, and I was just working those records, right? And I'm still keeping in contact with those people, but they're going to sell one day. It's just a matter of when, right? So you've got to think about it and just build the cold contacts in your database, and those cold contacts for me are absolute guaranteed listings in 5 years' time. So don't think about where the next listing is going to come from tomorrow. Think about how many contacts I can build in the next 3 to 6 months and work them to be a potential listing in 2 to 3 years' time. Because end of the day, if you work for business today, you're not going to ever get that. You're going to be busted against 3 or 4 agents. You're going to be cheap fees, cheap marketing. The best thing is to do is work the relationship, right? And then when it comes time to sell, there's no questions asked.
Awesome stuff. Sound like a veteran. Very, very good, mate. Very impressive. You can ask the question of the day today.
Yeah, okay.
I sometimes can't think of it, but yeah, you can ask today, mate. What would be the question of the day you'd like to ask to get a conversation going?
How's your service area going?
Nice. I've never thought of that one. Very good. Very, very good. Tom, I appreciate your time, mate. Awesome stuff.
Absolute pleasure, Matt. I look forward to seeing you at ARIC this year.
Yeah, definitely. Can we do you're speaking at ARIC. You're on the panel.
That's correct. Yes.
Right, there you go. Can we do a follow-up video in the next few months?
Mate, fantastic. Would love to.
Look forward to it, Tom. Thanks very much. Thanks for tuning in, everyone, and helping make this real estate world a much better place. See you on the next video.
Thanks, Matt. See you.
Mate.